Before you walk away, let me tell you something that most people never realize. Have you ever noticed how, when you stop trying so hard, things start falling into place? It's almost like the moment you stop chasing something, it starts chasing you. And relationships are no different. You feel her slipping away. She's distant, less engaged, not like before, and your instincts tell you to hold on tighter, explain more, prove your worth. But that's exactly what pushes her further. Listen, I know you don't want to lose her. You think if you just remind her of how good things were, if you just say the right words, she'll come back around. But what if I told you that everything you're doing right now is the opposite of what works? That the only way to turn this around is by doing the one thing you've been afraid to do: let go of control, let go of fear, not to punish her, but to reconnect with yourself. Let's break it down. Not with tricks or tactics, but with real insight that shifts your mindset so you never feel desperate for someone's attention again. Point 1. She's not pulling away, she's reacting to you. When a woman pulls back, it's not always the beginning of the end. Sometimes, it's a response to subtle changes in the dynamic she feels between you. Attraction is emotional, it's instinctive. It's not about what you say, it's about how she feels in your presence. In the beginning there was space, there was tension, there was mystery. She didn't have all of you. You had a life, a purpose, a rhythm, and she was drawn in by the gravity of that. But somewhere along the way, maybe you started revolving around her, constant check-ins, dropping everything to be available, making her your emotional center. And while that might seem like love to you, to her it feels like pressure. When someone no longer needs to earn your attention, they begin to value it less. Most men respond to this shift by chasing harder. They over-communicate, they get emotional, but the answer isn't more effort. It's balance. Pull back, not as a trick, but to restore equilibrium. Let her feel the space. Let her rediscover the value of your presence. Let her remember why she was drawn to you in the first place. Point 2. Attraction lives in your energy, not your words. We've all seen it. Some guys say almost nothing, yet somehow command attention. That's because attraction isn't logical, it's energetic. You can say all the right things, but if your energy is anxious, needy, or insecure, she'll feel it. You can't fake confidence. You either walk in it, or you don't. If you're over-explaining, seeking reassurance, trying to win her approval, you're unknowingly signaling weakness. Instead of chasing with words, shift your presence. Be grounded, be calm, be certain. Be the kind of man who knows who he is, with or without her. Because a woman is drawn to the energy of a man who doesn't need her validation to feel whole. When she feels that strength, she doesn't pull away. She leans in because now you're radiating what can't be taught: masculine certainty. Point 3. Predictability kills attraction. Think of your favorite song. The first few times, it hits different. It moves you. But play it on repeat every single day. Eventually it fades into background noise. That's what happens when your relationship becomes too predictable. Attraction requires a blend of familiarity and unpredictability. If she always knows what you'll say, when you'll text, how you'll respond, where's the tension, where's the spark, she stops feeling excitement, because there's nothing new to feel. This doesn't mean you should ignore her or play games. It means you need to reclaim your individuality. Who were you before the relationship consumed you? What did you love doing? What were you building? Who was that man? Get back to him. Let her see that you still have a world outside of her. Let her want to be a part of it, not because you made her your focus, but because you became focused again. Point 4. Distance creates desire. If it's real, think of the last time you missed someone or something deeply. It wasn't because it was constantly in front of you. It was because you couldn't have it. We don't crave what's always available, we crave what's scarce. If you're always texting, always calling, always just checking in, she doesn't get to feel your absence. And without absence there's no desire. Pulling back isn't about punishment, it's about giving her space to wonder again, to think about you, to miss what she once had. And when a woman starts wondering, emotions begin to shift in your favor. Point 5. If she doesn't come back, she wasn't meant to stay. Here's the truth you may not want to hear: not every woman is supposed to stay in your life. And that's not a loss, that's clarity. If she pulls away and never returns, take it as the gift of truth, not rejection. Because you don't want a woman who only stays when you're constantly proving your worth. You want a woman who sees your value without the performance, who chooses you, even when you're not bending to be chosen. And the only way to attract that kind of woman, be the kind of man who doesn't chase. He attracts. Point 6. The shift that changes everything. In the end, it all comes down to this: you don't need to chase, you need to level up. The men who get ghosted, the ones who beg, the ones who break down when she pulls away, they've placed their entire identity in whether a woman stays or leaves. But the men who walk in power, they focus on themselves, they build, they lead, they grow, they become so whole, so self-assured, so centered, that the right people can't help but be drawn in. So ask yourself, are you trying to get her back, or trying to get yourself back? Because once you shift your focus inward, everything around you begins to change. Women can feel when a man is grounded in his purpose. That kind of energy is magnetic, unshakable, rare. And it's the man she doesn't want to lose, not the one who's always afraid of losing her. Final thought: you can't control how she feels, you can't control whether she stays. But you can control who you become. The strongest men aren't the ones who fight hardest to be chosen, they're the ones who walk away with dignity when they're not. Attraction isn't about convincing someone to stay, it's about being someone worth staying for. So don't chase, don't beg, become. Because the moment you start becoming the man you were always meant to be, everything else starts falling into place.